Welcome to Mission Driven Founders, where passion meets purpose. If you're dreaming of starting your own business, whether it's in beauty, wellness, or beyond, you're in the right place. We are going behind the scenes with inspiring entrepreneurs who are not just building brands, but driving real change. Subscribe and follow us for updates. And stick around, this conversation could be the spark that ignites your journey. Today, we're excited to introduce Nicole Fey, founder of the East Tennessee Wellness Directory. Nicole is a certified nutrition counselor and a holistic health coach. She's the founder of the East Tennessee Wellness Directory. With decades of experience in fitness, nutrition, and holistic healing, she helps others achieve lasting wellness and build conscious, connected communities. Now, let's dive into Nicole's inspiring journey and see how she's contributing to our movement and making a difference in the world. Nicole, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Wanda. Thanks for having me.
Of course, it's an honor to have you here. So, your brand's journey is truly inspiring. Can you take us back to the moment when it all began? What sparked the idea, and how did you turn it into reality?
Well, going way back to how this passion really grabbed me, I would say went back to my struggles with my own health. I had severe digestive problems from childhood into my 20s. And I went to a doctor and they gave me medication. And I started taking it and it helped in the beginning and then it didn't help anymore. And then I got dependent on it. It was this journey like that. And when I finally stopped taking the medication, all the problems came back anyway. And it took me a few years and talking to a lot of people, but I finally realized I had to try and figure out a different way to heal my gut because they didn't know. They really couldn't help me. Nobody asked me what I eat, what I drink, if I drink enough water. Those were never questions asked. And so I think that's what sparked me to say, first of all, I have to take care of this myself. I have to research and figure it out. And second of all, that the tools they have were just not enough to help heal my gut. So that was like my starting point. And then from there, I was working in health clubs. I was a personal trainer. I was really into fitness and I still had those digestive problems. So I looked really fit, I looked really good, but I was in pain and I was extremely uncomfortable. And it just kept coming back that I have to figure this out. And so I talked with different holistic practitioners that knew a lot about gut health. And over years, it took me, but I finally figured it out. It was very related to what I was eating. And drinking enough water and detoxification and all those things I didn't know anything about, but I learned and I fixed my gut health. And I thought, that took a long time. Took a really long time to just, you know, find those practitioners and figure out the problem with them. And I never want anybody to go through that. That if you have a problem, you can have practitioners readily available with a lot of information that you can do your due diligence and figure out if that's the person to help you with your health issues. So that was kind of the beginning point.
That's really cool. I love the directory. I think it's so important to have a space like you have with all the practitioners, all the people who can help you in different ways because it's a holistic approach and it's all into this platform that you created that is amazing. I love it. It's genius and it's so helpful to so many people here in East Tennessee. I love what you created. So the next question would be, who is your ideal audience and how do you see your guidance making a difference in their lives? How do you connect with them on a personal level and how do they find you? How do they find the directory?
Well, the ideal person to use the directory, number one, would be somebody who is a holistic health practitioner, and they would want to list their services on here. And it's such a holistic health is such a broad subject. It could be anybody from chiropractors to holistic health coaches to fitness practitioners to massage therapists, um, birth doulas, death doulas, acupuncture. It just goes on and on. And if you look at if you browse through the different categories, you'll see, and I think it'll be very eye opening. The other person that wants to use the directory is the person that's looking for the practitioner. So they will go on there and hit browse, or explore categories, and they might find something they didn't even know that they needed or that they might want to use. So it's really for the somebody seeking the holistic healthcare and the people who want to list their services and get known for what they do in the East Tennessee area.
So while they're browsing your directory, they're learning, you're educating them because they're learning about holistic therapies that they didn't even know exist, right?
Exactly. That's a big part of it, is the educational component of this directory. I didn't want to hit people over the head with it though. I wanted them to first browse and look for what they want, but then sort of, well, wait, what's this? Oh, I didn't know about that. I just sort of would picture somebody going through the directory and say, I didn't know about forest bathing. What on earth is forest bathing? And then just opening up an article and being pleasantly surprised about, well, I knew it was healing to walk through the forest, but I didn't know it was actually helping heal me, mentally, physically, emotionally. So that's just one example of the directory and how it's also an educational tool. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, holistic wellness is clearly at the heart of your work. How do these values influence your coaching philosophy, the directory, and your approach to health and healing? And what unique challenges have you encountered in promoting these ideas? And how do your um, meetings and the meetups that you have and the coaching techniques bring all of this to life?
Well, the way I'm approaching this particular venture is different than when I was really practicing holistic health coaching. That, I was meeting one to one with people and working with them on their health. But this takes me in a different direction where I am now supporting the people who want to get the information out, the word out about what they do. And because I have this really decades long experience in holistic health, I have many certifications, in Reiki and fitness and yoga and holistic health. And it really a lot of certifications and research have gone into it. So I want to help lift them up and give them a platform like yourself, Crunchy Mama Box, listed on here. And I just look at each person, each practitioner individually and say, wow, what is this person offering? And let me tell them how they can best make use of their listing. So I'm sort of approaching it, I guess, more now like a mentor coach for the holistic health practitioner.
And I love your meetups because they are so engaging and you learn and you get the practitioners with, your like your consumers, they're all together. So there's people there learning, there's people teaching, and we're all learning together and networking and getting to know each other. I love your meetups. And we did host an event together, right? The wellness meet and greet. That was so fun at the park.
It was so fun, and there was a lot going on, but it really unfolded very seamlessly and very fun. I felt like there was such joy going on the whole day. We had classes going on. We had a bar class going on. We had somebody doing readings for Bach flower remedies. We had
The sound bath.
the sound bath with Derek. We had healthy food because we always make it a potluck so that people can feel like they can hang out for like a few hours and, nosh on something and then go back to talking with other people. And yeah, so I mean, the thing with the community meetups, like you said, I love that sometimes people come, they're not a holistic health practitioner, but they want to hear. They're like a fly on the wall of what people are doing. And I've had people comment to me like, wow, I really learned a lot, and I really want to connect with so-and-so, and I really want to connect with so-and-so. And it ends up being very dynamic and very vibrant. Yes.
It really is, and it brings the community together in a beautiful way. Everybody comes out sparkling, right?
Yes,
Everybody's happy.
yes, it is.
And building a brand is always a journey with highs and lows. So, can you share one particularly challenging moment you faced and how you overcame it and what lesson it taught you as a founder?
Oh gosh. Well, I would say having my Facebook hacked was very challenging. I had built up quite a presence with my branding, and yeah, and when it was hacked, I lost a lot, and it was very discouraging. But I decided to just keep going, rebuild. And maybe there's a reason for this. I sort of got into that head. You never know what the reason behind things are, and to just go with it. But yeah, that made it difficult, but it also was a red flag. Like, don't be so dependent on social media, although it's so wonderful and so easy to connect with everybody, and we all love it. But you also have to connect with people in other ways. So I think, through the newsletter, you sign up through the newsletter, you're always going to get that once a month. I do not bombard people with email because I myself don't like to get a lot of email. So once a month, I send out a newsletter highlighting the new practitioners and what they do. I tell about the meetups. I give some articles that the practitioners themselves have written, and highlight events that the people on the directory are offering. And that goes out once a month. And then we also connect at the community meetup. So we have our own little grassroots thing going on. Yeah.
That's really important to mention. Not keeping all your eggs in one basket, especially when it comes to social media, because more and more we've heard of founders losing their Instagram page and being hacked and losing their contacts and losing all their followers. So, having these in person events, having a mailing list, having your audience, saved in other platforms and on your own database is so important for any founder. I agree completely with you, and that's very, very important.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's talk about the giving back chain, where brands and clients unite to support the planet and the community. How do you integrate this ethos into the East Tennessee Wellness Directory? And are there any specific causes or initiatives like regenerative farming, community healing, and others that resonate most deeply with you?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the ideas I had with this directory, rather than just be like a listing with people's names, I wanted to have categories that speak to populations or particular issues that are crucial right now for us to look at and to heal. So, for instance, I have a category on sustainable living. That's very broad, and you can put a lot of different other categories underneath it. But things like zero waste, like a zero waste store, zero waste packaging, functional mushrooms, regenerative farming, and organic farms. So there's a lot of things that can go under sustainable living. And so that feeds that passion about wanting to basically save our planet. And then I really like to focus in on certain demographics that are underserved. So seniors, you don't hear a lot about holistic health and seniors, and they're, forever running to the doctors, which is fine. Maybe they, they need that too. But they should also be aware that there's things they can do holistically, complementary and alternative methods of helping heal their symptoms that can really give a lot of relief. A lot of seniors are in a lot of pain, and have a lot of issues with differences. I mean, they're olding, they're older, they're aging. So a category for seniors. I will be starting a category for veterans. That's very near and dear to my heart. That again, the veterans, are very dependent on the healthcare system, which is fine. Thank God we have that for them. But what if they could go to a sound bath, and help with the PTSD, and there's all these other things that can help them too. Again, complementary to what they're already doing. So yes, I definitely um, really care, and it's very mindfully curated what I've done. Yeah.
It really is. And I really want to ask you about your amazing sustainable house, because one of the meetups was at your house, and your husband has the mushroom garden, and you have the water and the solar panels. Tell us a little bit about your amazing sustainable setup at your own house. It starts at home, right?
Starts at home. When we met about 4 years ago, we both had very similar visions to um, be living sustainably, be off the grid if we could. And we really work towards that, just piecemeal. It's taken a long time and we're still absolutely working on it. But the first thing we wanted water catchment, because when it's raining, we're both just sitting here going, that is a lot of water coming off the roof. And that was how the discussion started. And we could be using that to water our fruit trees. You know,
I
so
love that.
that's how the water catchment started. And then we always definitely had it in our mind about solar, but we were nervous that it wouldn't work at our house because we're in a very shaded lot. But Bruce said, let's just get an expert out here, ask them what they think. And so we had this great company come out, and they were like, oh no, it'll work. And we were like, okay, and it did. They put solar panels on, and it absolutely worked, even though it was a shaded lot. So that was like really, eye opening for both of us. And then Bruce got very excited about functional mushrooms and about growing functional mushrooms. So he surrounded our entire house with mushroom gardens. And if you know him, he's very extra, right, Wanda?
Yes.
Character. And so he was so excited about the gardens that he said, I want to help anybody and everybody that wants a mushroom garden. So he has been going out and helping people build their mushroom gardens. He will bring them the substrate, he will bring them, the wood or whatever, and he helps. He says mushroom bed 17 just got done. so
I
so
love this.
amazing. And we just went yesterday to visit this man up in Rutledge at Joppa Mountain Pottery, and he had found Bruce on YouTube, Bruce Perlowin, and his mushroom gardens. He's also on the directory under functional mushrooms, and he found him, made friends with him. We went up there to get him started, and it just started a whole new friendship. And it's just amazing. So
So
yeah,
for anyone in East Tennessee, Bruce is so generous that he will go to your house and he will help you get your mushroom farm started in your backyard, anywhere you want, right? I saw that they had the what was his name again? You said the
uh,
the
so
man.
Shelby Shane from Joppa Mountain Pottery.
Yes, and he was growing the mushroom in his pottery, right?
Getting that made. I
That
mean,
was amazing.
he was amazing. Just meeting him was such an experience. And then we were standing deep, deep in the woods of Rutledge, Tennessee, where his homestead was. And I said, this is the most amazing way to spend a Sunday, is with this man just talking about like making mushrooms in his pottery. So it's,
I
yeah,
cannot imagine
no.
that you have this in Tennessee,
Yeah,
right?
you can't
So
plan this
close to
stuff.
Knoxville. You cannot imagine. Like people that come here, they have no, it is such a rich area. There's so much holistic health and sustainability going on. And animal, like the bat lady. Oh my gosh, she's amazing. Susie Q. She's
Saving bats.
that. Yes, it's incredible. I love living here. Every day there's a surprise, a new surprise. So your work, Nicole, it aligns beautifully with the CMB certification values: transparency, education, sustainability, and social impact, and community, right?
Yeah.
How do you see these principles empowering people to make more informed choices about their health and wellness?
Well, I think that, like I said, it's educational in itself, and it's very well thought out and arranged so that somebody can come and explore and it just open their eyes to new things. I mean, when I started in holistic health, everything moved me forward organically. I started out in fitness because I cared about what I looked like. I was, 20, but then I started to realize the energy in my body, that's something different. And I'm not addressing that. And I became certified in Reiki after getting Reiki sessions, took that all the way to getting my master level. After that, I started realizing the energy around me in my physical space, that's affecting me too. Then feng shui, I got very into feng shui, became a certified practitioner, then got my certification in nutrition counseling. So one thing led to another, led to another. And what I find fascinating is that it doesn't matter where you come on this path. You can come on during your pregnancy, during your teen years, during, your 60s, from a trip you took or something you saw or experienced. And then all of a sudden the spark is lit and you're like, wow, this is really neat. And then the next step just comes naturally and it just grows and grows. And so you're creating your own health journey without even trying. The doors are just opening. So I feel like this directory is a pathway for you to start opening your doors and just see where it leads. Nobody's telling you what to do. We're just giving you the information. We're telling you stories of other, things that we've done before, and use your intuition and just start getting into your health journey.
Exactly. Now give us a little shortcut to this pathway. How do we contact you?
Okay, so the website is ET as in East Tennessee wellnessdirectory.com, and you go to that website and just look at the menu at the top. And if you're a practitioner, I have add your listing, and so you can click on that. We have 3 listings: basic, pro, and premium. And so the basic one is free. So any holistic practitioner that's based in East Tennessee can join for free. If you want to do the pro level, which is only $10 a month, then you have some extra features. You can add more photos, you can receive reviews, you can receive direct inquiries. And maybe somebody came upon you and wanted to just ask you a question about your services. They can directly email you. You can post your events and they'll be promoted through the social media. You can publish articles, they'll be promoted through social media. So some people even use it like their website, that didn't set one up yet, and they just transition over, and it's this like beautiful one pager of basically everything you do, and it's all neatly there. And then the premium, which is just $20 a month, you have all those, and you come up a little higher on the search page. Well, you come up the highs with the premium, second with the pro, and third with the basic. But that's just the order of the listing. But you also can put your product on the marketplace. So if you have a product that you want to get the word out, it's a marketplace, but it's just a link to your store. It's not a full store. But so there's different features with each listing. And so you can find that on Add Your Listing. You can go to Explore Services and you'll look at all the different holistic health services, everything from body work to creative art therapies to chiropractic to holistic pregnancy to nutrition to holistic spa services, retreat centers, yoga. It just goes on and on. So you'll have fun looking at that. And then it has events and blog. And so I think the best thing to do is to start by going to the website, etwellnessdirectory.com, and poke around. And yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Nicole, for sharing your inspiring journey and for all the work that you do to create a more sustainable and conscious world. You've shown us that businesses can truly be a force for good. And to everyone watching, remember that every choice we make can shape the future. So let's choose wisely, live intentionally, and support those who are making a difference, like our friend Nicole. And stay inspired, stay motivated, and let's keep building a brighter future together. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you, Wanda. This has been wonderful. I really appreciate it. Bye, everyone.